Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the committee, my name is Bob Perry and I represent District 3, Stratford County. I have eliminated my first page.
That's good.
Thank you.
Quote, the U.S. government is on a burning platform of unsustainable policies and practices with fiscal deficits, chronic health care underfunding, immigration and overseas military commitments, threatening a crisis if action is not taken soon. End quote. David Walker, Comptroller General of the United States. The war in Iraq cost the American taxpayer $700 million a day. $2 billion to the taxpayers of New Hampshire. And David Walker estimates the total U.S. debt based on current spending obligations is an unsustainable $50 trillion. Yet Mr. Bush's top priority remains that of providing tax breaks for the wealthy. The true objectives of Mr. Bush and Mr. Cheney are reflected within the text of a document and website entitled The Project for the New American Century, produced by a neoconservative think tank and authored by a well-known cast of characters: Richard Cheney, Donald Rumsfeld, Paul Wolfowitz, Richard Pearl, Jeb Bush, Steve Forbes, Elliott Abrams, Gary Bauer, Scooter Libby, and others. The following is an excerpt from the document. Quote, the defense policy guidance drafted in the early months of 1992 provided a blueprint for maintaining U.S. preeminence, precluding the rise of a great power rival, and shaping the international security order in line with American principles and interests. End quote. More concisely, U.S. world domination through intimidation and aggression. The result of this ongoing imperial plan: 3,963 U.S. military personnel dead, 3,824 more since Mr. Bush's childish pronouncement of mission accomplished, more than 1 million Iraqis dead, on our way to an estimated $2 trillion in war costs, cuts in domestic spending, and increases in war spending through the year 2009, increasing violence in Iraq, Afghanistan, threats of war with Iran, instability in Pakistan, and escalating tensions with oil-rich and nuclear-powered Russia. These are not the values of a Christian, compassionate conservative. Indeed, they are the misadventures of an administration out of control. Professor Michael Gerhardt, a leading constitutional scholar who has analyzed the history of the American impeachment process, has concluded that, quote, impeachable offenses are not necessarily indictable crimes, but rather are political crimes in which a critical element is serious injury to the political order of the constitutional system. The principles are now widely accepted that an offense need not be a violation of criminal law at all in order for it to be properly impeachable under the Constitution, end quote. American history also discloses that, quote, when Congress determines that an alleged crime reflects an egregious breach of the public trust, serious abuse of the privileges of office, significant disrespect for the constitutional system, or serious injury to the Republic, the accused official is likely to be found to have committed misconduct meriting impeachment and removal. End quote. The National Security and Homeland Security Presidential Directive, a menacing document signed on May 9, 2007, declares that in the event of a catastrophic event, quote, the President shall lead the activities of the federal government for ensuring constitutional government. This directive, completely unnoticed by the media and given no scrutiny by Congress, literally gives the White House unprecedented dictatorial power over the government and the country, bypassing the U.S. Congress and obliterating the separation of powers, end quote. Online Journal. thus a catastrophic event occurring before the November election, however catastrophic as defined by Mr. Bush, would trigger his rise to unprecedented world power. Mr. Bush's executive order signed July 17, 2007, entitled Blocking Property of Certain Persons Who Threaten Stabilization Efforts in Iraq, provides the President with the authority to confiscate the assets of whoever opposes the U.S.-led war. In effect, opposing the war becomes an illegal act. It criminalizes the anti-war movement. Democracy or tyranny? Today is our opportunity to wrest our country from the most secretive and powerful executive branch in U.S. history. Our representative democracy stands at the precipice. We must step back. We must not go where this administration leads us. Start the impeachment process. Americans are waiting. The world is watching. In conclusion, the spirit of resistance to government is so valuable on certain occasions that I wish it to be always kept alive. Thomas Jefferson. Thank you.